We're a large housing association based in Walsall, in the West Midlands. We employ 240 trades colleagues, and 2 or 3 years ago we looked at remote working solutions, which wasn't the best, it wasn't the most modern solution. We took a lot of views from the business and obviously from the trades colleagues to get it into a much modern place. We did lots of work with the trades colleagues in terms of one-to-ones and 10-2 cafes to get their experience of what their current solutions were and what we wanted in the future. So we decided to embark on a new project to bring remote working to a more modern era with our trades colleagues, and that's where we developed the Dovetail team, and that's where Gary got more involved in developing the solution.
Yeah, and from that, following from what Nigel said, one of the big things that we did with First Touch was we made sure that we included the colleagues on the entire journey. So it was, what processes do you follow now and what do you want in the future if you were starting from a fresh, clean slate, fresh piece of paper. So the implementation, it actually took us 9 months to go live. We went live on September 2015. We went with repairs forms, but also looking into electrical forms. The reason why we went with electrical first was because electrical regulations had changed. So we were using old systems previously, mobile systems, but they weren't up to electrical regulations. So we adopted that system first using First Touch. We did some slight changes, as any housing provider or any user would do to suit themselves. But that's one beauty about the system. It is a manageable system where you as a user would manage it yourself. We've still got our housing management system, which is our core operating system, which then links through the contractors module, currently using AccuServe, and out to DRS and back into AccuServe and out to First Touch. But it gives the users, this is what our users out there ask for. It's now they're a little bit, I'd say, apprehensive of this is what you asked for, and actually you get it. And that was the beauty of First Touch. It's a managed solution, and when things do change, we can change them straight away. The forms change instantly. They don't have to come back in. Devices don't come back in. It's pushed out instantaneously. We're looking at gas forms. We've implemented that already. And with the completed gas form, when it's been quality controlled, we have now the ability to email that to the customer. So instead of sending paper out, a copy of the certificates, they have the option for an electronic copy of the certificate, which in this day and age, we're saving paper and it's more efficient. So that was some of the benefits that we found with the system.
And obviously our customer base now are receiving text messages from the system. So it's a more modern service. They're being reminded of the service the day before, on the day of arrival. So it's more modern for the customer now going forward. And we believe now our workforce, we have 138 colleagues live, trade colleagues live at the moment. Phase 2 will take the next 130 colleagues live. And it's moved the business a long way forward using the First Touch solution.
So going forward into Phase 2, we're now looking at doorstep appointments. Now, doorstep appointments for us is follow-ons. An example would be if an engineer goes out to replace a radiator, he takes the radiator off and finds actually it needs plastering. Now, that colleague may not have the tools, the equipment and the ability to do the plastering, so we'll need to raise a follow-on, and we call that as a doorstep appointment. So we'd be able to interrogate DRS and actually give the customer the best available appointment there and then, instead of trade colleagues ringing into planners and doing that diagnostic over the phone. It all takes time. It takes colleagues from doing the planning jobs. It takes them, got to answer the phone, and that's all time and it's all money. So we've got doorstep appointments coming up into Phase 2. Another big item is van stock replenishment. So as a trade colleague uses materials, we'll be able to use the stock picker and actually get replacement back, because we don't want colleagues in stores, we want them out there repairing our properties. So it's all that replenishment. And as you move forward, we're doing a lot of forms, but then other parts of the business and within asset management say, well, I want a form for this, for ordering a new door or scaffold or health and safety checks, accident management for our vehicles. So as people get used to it, their ideas come out and say, I want a form for that. Yeah. So it's all good stuff with First Touch, and glad we're in a partnership with First Touch.
And finally, the last part of the business is our housing services, and they've seen what we've done through the Dovetail project, and they're looking at in terms of visiting regime with the housing services, and they've seen what we've done with the Dovetail, and they want a piece of action now. So they want to look at the forms they can deploy out to the housing officers and on the local patch. So that is a future phase that we're going to look at over the summer.